today we all have that problem. We all have that problem of focus. It is the biggest problem. The lack of attention. Everything in our environment pushes us towards lack of attention. The technologies push us,
Mhm.
the social media pushes, our phones pushes, internet pushes. It's constant because we are everything is designed to distract you. It is distraction by design, and we live in what I call an attention economy
Yes.
because eyeballs are money. Then even today, this talk that we are having on live stream,
Hmm.
the success of this live stream is dependent on the number of people who will stop doing whatever else they were doing and actually pay attention to you and me.
Yes. Yes.
So when they pay attention to you and me, they are being distracted from whatever else that they could be doing, right?
Yes.
So this entire world we live in is what I call an attention economy.
Yes. Absolutely.
We have monetized attention,
Hmm.
and by monetizing attention, we grab people at the very core of their existence. The ability to pay attention, to be able to respond to stimulation, is the essence of being alive. So, by becoming an attention economy, by monetizing attention, we have grabbed people at the essence of their living being.
Absolutely. And
There
and I
is there is no better way to make somebody a slave than by grabbing their attention. So, if you teach people how to control their attention,
Mhm. Mhm.
you set them free, you liberate them. If and that is in essence what I do in my coaching program, the cognitive alignment program that I created after I wrote the book.
Yes.
I have two programs. One is called Cognitive Alignment, or COGAL, COGAL,
Mhm.
COGAL Workshop. And the other program I have is called Strategies of Neuro Aligned Groups, STRONG, STRONG.
I like that.
So, COGAL and STRONG comes out of how do you leverage attention into an aligned laser focus on when it is your teams or your company or your organization. How do
Mhm.
you get people aligned together to give attention to the same things in the same way, but within their skill sets, so that people with multiple skill sets can all be aligned in the same direction of the company rather than
Yeah.
fighting against each other. So the idea of neuro alignment is far more powerful than diversity, equity, and inclusion.
I see we have a few messages here. Keith says, Dr. Drabi, I'm curious, how do you acquire a better focus? That's Keith Bena says.
You set yourself up with a target, Keith. You set yourself up with a target, some target that you can access no matter wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Once you find your target, you practice, just like bicycle riding, you practice to get balance. And initially, you will focus on that target for 1 second,
Mhm.
and then your mind will go somewhere else. Then you'll focus on 2 seconds, and then it'll go, and it will go for 30 seconds, and then you say, "Oh, I had to go back to the target." So initially, you will be trying to focus on that target. You will set a defined time away from everything else. You will remove the distraction, and then sit. Then, as you get better and better, you start capable of focusing on the target even when you are walking, talking, or doing some other activity. So eventually you will come to a level where you will be able to enter what is called a flow state. A flow state is what psychologists talk of as a state of intense concentrated focus
Mhm.
where you literally have an altered sense of time and space and being. A lot of athletes and musicians talk about a flow state.
Mhm.
It's well documented in athletes and musicians. And it's a high performance state. When you are in a flow state, you are in a different space altogether. And in a flow state, you can get to a point where you are so skilled at focus that you can enter a flow state at will whenever you want to. And when you come to that point, you will be able to enter a flow state, and the people around you, nearby you, sitting with you, will also simultaneously begin to experience the effect of that flow state by sympathetic resonance.
Nice.
They because when one person is in a flow state, everyone around him begins to resonate somewhat. They may not enter the flow state, but they will start becoming less distracted just around that person. So you become a natural leader just by that. Every flow states are very well documented in performance uh,
Mhm.
activities, but you can have it in non-performance activities. Scientists experience flow states. Um, you know, mathematicians experience flow states. Flow states are states of extremely intense concentration that push you into a different space of being. That's all. Correct. That's whenever you start something new
Mhm.
that is different than what you're normally accustomed to, it is always smart to pick an activity that you are already naturally inclined towards. And then it becomes easy to develop skill in that. And then you can use that and you can piggyback on that to enter into a flow state. Once you enter into a flow state in one particular activity, then you can very easily transfer that skill into some other activity where you're not really naturally inclined. And in this way, you acquire more and more expertise and skill in multiple areas of life. You become more and more multi talented, multi capable.
Mhm.
And in this manner, success naturally comes because as you develop the ability to function in a flow state, no matter what activity, you will you will excel at that.